Here in Berlin, Chancellor Angela Merkel's cabinet is due to approve legislation that should help skilled workers from outside the European Union find jobs in Germany. The country urgently needs people to fill more than 1 million job vacancies. Now, the proposed law would simplify the process for recognizing professional or vocational training degrees from abroad. It would also eliminate the requirements that employers have to check whether German nationals are also available to fill the vacancy. And it would allow qualified non-EU nationals who do speak German to live in the country while they look for work. But what about asylum seekers? Should qualified migrants who've been denied refugee status be allowed to stay if a company wants them? DW's Yalda Zarbach met an Iraqi who has skills and wants to use them here in Germany.
Firas Al-Kafaji is nervous. He has to give a presentation to the whole team today. The 40-year-old Iraqi is an apprentice at an IT company in Cologne. Like most of his colleagues here, Al-Kafaji has only lived in Germany for a few years. They hail from Syria, Iran and Iraq, and they all came to Germany as refugees.
This is a great chance for me. It's difficult to get a job training position here.
3 years ago, Al-Kafaji's request for asylum was denied. His official status since then has been what Germany terms tolerated right to stay. This apprenticeship will give him a chance of staying longer. The skills he's learning are in demand here. There are 80 to 100,000 positions in the IT branch alone that cannot be filled due to a lack of qualified workers.
Up until now, the problem was if you get someone who's not European, then there is a risk that they are not going to be able to stay. At the end of the day, you need a visa. And what am I going to do if they don't get a visa? Or if I have a job to fill, but a German or a European has to do it? Then the whole process was a waste of time.
Germany needs immigrants, otherwise its economic growth will slow down considerably. Experts estimate that in around 10 years there will be a shortage of 3 million trained skilled workers. The new immigration law now is designed to address this problem to make it easier for skilled labor from outside of the EU to move here. But still some questions remain. How will the new immigration laws affect people working in Germany whose asylum requests were denied? They may be granted a tolerated right to stay status for another 2 years, yet there is still a stark demarcation between those seeking asylum and the migration of trained professionals to Germany.
We're a small company, and if after 3 years we were told a colleague has to return to his or her country of origin, that would be a setback, not just financially or from a business perspective, but also personally.
Osama Bitar from Syria is the newest instructor. He has been under contract as an IT specialist since April. Al-Kafaji is his first apprentice. He still has 1 year to go and hopes all will go well.
To complete my training and get a job and stay here in Germany. That would make me really happy and satisfied.
Firas Al-Kafaji's boss is hoping things will get simpler with the new law, so he can keep his specialists and employ new ones as well.
Our political correspondent Hans Brandt is with us for more on this story. Hi, Hans. Good morning to you. Let's talk about Firas, who we saw there in that report.
Yes.
Will this legislation that the cabinet is set to approve today here in Germany make it easier for people like him to stay in this country?
That's been one of the big controversies. The question has been whether or not this law should allow people who have come into the country for other reasons, as asylum seekers, as refugees, or illegally, but have found a job eventually, whether they should be allowed to stay or not. I think what will happen, we don't know the exact terms of this law yet, but so far the proposals that we have seen, there will be some clause allowing these people to stay. And in fact, at the moment, they're already being tolerated. Their status is one of being tolerated more or less indefinitely. So in effect, these people will be allowed to stay, I think, yes.
And we have heard from German companies time and again that there is a need for skilled workers. Which industries are experiencing a shortage?
I think what we talk about most often is engineering jobs and computer jobs, IT jobs. These are the companies that are most desperately looking for people, for workers, but also within things like hospital work or old age care. There's a big need in Germany. So it's really right across the spectrum of German employment.
And this legislation would allow skilled workers in the country, also from non-EU countries, we should say. Why is the issue of migration so controversial politically here in Germany?
Well, there's been a discussion, especially on the side of conservative parties, of the Christian Democrats, Angela Merkel's party, to say that Germany should not become an immigration country, one of these classic immigration countries that would normally be, you would think about countries such as Canada or Australia or the United States, who have been pulling in people from across the world really since the countries were founded. And Germany has not been like that, and the Conservatives have been saying that they would like to preserve kind of German identity within Germany. But they're really fighting a rearguard action here. The situation is such that Germany really does need such skilled workers, and that in fact a very large number of people, maybe 30 or 40% of people living in Germany today already have some kind of foreign background. So in the end, the reality is such that Germany will need these skilled workers, and making it easier for them to come in will be very beneficial for the country.
All right. Our political correspondent Hans Brandt with us here this morning. Thank you so much.